One of my live stream lectures today. And before we get started, I just want to take a moment to thank all of my supporters and everyone for supporting my channel. You know, my YouTube channel will not be where it's at today without all of my supporters. So with that being said, let's get on down to today's lecture, which is do not, if your YouTube channel, if you're a content creator and your YouTube channel is monetized, do not depend on a YouTube check, people, to make a living or to pay your bills. You know, I'm a content creator. My YouTube channel has been monetized going on 3 years. And I tell anyone, you got to have a higher purpose in terms of a reason for becoming a content creator versus just being money driven. But irregardless of whatever you're making as a content creator, if your channel is monetized, do not base your livelihood waiting on a YouTube check. And I'm gonna give you many reasons why. Number one, it's never good business sense, people, to have one source of income. Even though I'm retired, I still have other streams of income. The money I generate from under my company, Paris and Associates Resource Center, that's well over 22 plus years strong. My book hit all major bookstores well over 3 years ago. I went through 2 world-renowned publishing companies, so I get quarterly checks for the rest of my life from the sales of my book. And I got a couple of pensions I would get a pension, 2 pensions for the rest of my life. So I say that to say, whatever amount of money I make every month from YouTube, I also consider that as another stream of income. But make no mistake, I don't base my livelihood off YouTube, people. Rather YouTube want to pay me or not, that ain't gonna stop me from getting my ongoing monthly revenue from my multiple streams of income and to reinvest my money on a monthly basis, rather I get paid from YouTube or not, bottom line. And people need to hear this, and this is real talk. Another reason why you should not base your livelihood on a YouTube check. Number one, most importantly, what if, I don't care how big or small your channel is, if your channel's monetized, I don't care if you're making $50,000 a month, $30,000 a month, $1,000 a month, $100 a month, I don't care what you are making. And if YouTube is your only source of income, what if they should YouTube shut your behind down? What if, and I've seen the biggest channels get shut down. I've seen smaller channels get shut down. I've seen all kind of channels get shut down. Girl, let me tell you something. When your channel is shut down and you're monetized, let me tell you something. Your money gone like that overnight. Real talk. Real talk. Whatever amount of money you was making on a monthly basis, if your channel is shut down by YouTube, and yeah, they can shut your behind down, violate those community guidelines, your channel will get shut down, and that means your money will get shut down. All the money you was making will be shut down in a blink of an eye. So imagine for a moment, if YouTube was your only source of income, now your income shut down. How are you going to pay your bills? How are you going to pay your mortgage, your rent, your car note, car insurance, take care of your kids, pay your medical bills, your medical insurance, life insurance, homeowners insurance, car insurance, food, gas, cell phone bill, and any other bill that you may have? If your money shut down, people, how are you going to pay all that if YouTube was your only source of income? This is real talk. But if YouTube is not your only source of income, meaning you ain't basing your livelihood off YouTube, meaning you ain't paying your bills off a YouTube check. So if YouTube shut you down, so what? That's just a stream of income that's gone. But because you were not basing your livelihood and paying your bills off YouTube, because you're basing your livelihood and paying your bills off your primary source of income, rather it's a W-2 job, or rather it's retirement, or rather it's another stream of income or investments. Real talk, people. Because YouTube ain't got a doggone thing to do with my pension checks I get every month for the rest of my life. YouTube ain't got nothing to do with that. YouTube ain't got nothing to do with the money, the revenue I generate under my company, Patterson Associates Resource Center, that's well over 20 plus years strong. YouTube ain't got nothing to do with my business. YouTube ain't got nothing to do with the two world-renowned publishing companies, Page Publishing Company and Audiobook Network, sending me my quarterly checks for life. YouTube ain't got nothing to do with that. Only thing YouTube got to do with is my channel being monetized, and they send me that little check every month. Now they control that. So if my channel was to get shut down, or if I decide as a content creator to no longer be a content creator, I can shut my own channel down. That's just one piece of income that's gone. But so what? My livelihood has never been based off no YouTube. And I tell anybody, if you got any kind of good business sense, you better understand the power and wrap your mind around the power of having multiple streams of income. So you ain't dependent on no one income to take care of yourself, take care of your kids, to pay your bills, your mortgage, your car note, insurance, food, gas, utilities, so you're behind and won't become homeless. This is real talk. And what's wrong with a lot of these up-and-coming content creators, even for the ones that's been around for a while, they stepping into this game. I'm gonna just make all my money off YouTube, and I'm gonna quit my job and Okay, go ahead and do that. That which would not make sound business sense in any way you look at it. Because I don't care what nobody says. I don't care how big or small a channel is. Trust me, that particular content creator got another source of income from somewhere. Make no mistake. I don't care if this is their business. I don't care if they got a side or some other type of business that's generating income, generating revenue. We're using their talent, skills, or credential. Trust me, they got another source of income. They might not be telling it, but they got another source of income. Even if there's a significant other living in the household and got a W-2 job, that's a source of income. But trust me, the ones who are smart and strategic, they got more than one source of income. Real talk, people. And I've been wanting to touch bases on this for a while, because this is a real issue. You got folks losing everything because they so narrow in their thinking. Oh, I'm just going to be a content creator, and I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to quit my 9-to-5 job and just focus on being a content creator. But then what happens? The bills begin to pile up. They're creating financial destruction. And many content creators out there, you got a lot of them, just go on these platforms, you got a lot of homeless content creators because they're behind, don't want to go out there simultaneously and get a primary W-2 job. If you want to be a content creator, fine. But you still need to have a primary source of income, meaning some type of career job to pay your bills, to take care of yourself and take care of your kids, so your behind won't be homeless. Because anybody who want to rely on a YouTube check, that is a recipe for financial destruction. And another good reason why you don't want to just base your livelihood off YouTube, because that money you make, if you monetize, can fluctuate from month to month. You may make several $1,000s a month for a few months in a row, then a couple of months you might not make anything. You may do good on your YouTube chats for a few months, and you may make very little for the next few months. That money will fluctuate. Hear what I'm telling you. I know what I'm talking about, because I've been monetized going on 3 years. And because I don't depend on YouTube chat. When the money hit it. If it don't, it don't. Big deal. I'm not basing my livelihood on no YouTube check. Real talk. Because if you be on this earth long enough, you're going to have real adult responsibilities and accountabilities, where you're going to have certain bills that must be paid on a monthly basis. Real talk. If you got kids, you got to take care of your kids. Real talk. You can't tell your stakeholders, oh, I'm waiting on my YouTube check. Can you wait before I can pay the mortgage or the rent or the car note or the light bill or put food in the refrigerator for your kids? No. This is real talk. YouTube should be viewed only as another source of income. I don't even the money I get paid from YouTube every month, I just reinvest that money. It ain't like I'm waiting on it. I reinvest it into my Robinhood financial portfolio, and I don't miss a beat. And it's a beautiful thing to see my financial portfolio rise and rise and rise in retirement. Real talk. I've been fully retired since September 2023. Every retirement check that I got going on 2 years, I ain't even touched the money. I reinvest 100% of all of my retirement income. And I don't know too many regular people who don't even have to touch their retirement check, and my bill's still getting paid. Real talk, people. You want to know why? Because I have multiple streams of income. I've always known the power of having multiple streams of income. Real talk. And this is something I've been wanting to touch bases on for a while now. And I check my account and I be trying to figure out where's all this money coming from, because I'm not dependent on anything. YouTube pay us at a certain time every month I notice I get paid from YouTube between the 23rd and the 26th. If it hit, it hit. And I just check my account. Okay, my YouTube money hit. Okay, let me just go ahead and invest that. It ain't like I'm waiting on it to pay a bill. No, I basically use that money to reinvest. Real talk. So that's the power when you have multiple streams of income, because you got money coming from so many directions. What that does is give me more power to continue to reinvest my money to increase my financial portfolio in retirement, people. And I use some of that money to travel this world debt-free. Real talk. So I tell people, a lot of people, especially these even current YouTube content creators, or up-and-coming content creators who want to get monetized, the first thing I tell them is, do not, when you're behind, get monetized. Do not depend on the money from YouTube to base your livelihood on, because there's too many reasons on why not to do that. Number one, the power of understanding multiple streams of income. Most importantly, number two, violate those community guidelines. YouTube shut your behind down and your money gone overnight. Then what you gonna do? And that's why a lot of these content creators, real talk, go on some of these social media platforms. You got a lot of content creators behind homeless, living in their vehicle, living in cars, and creating content. And yeah, I'm not saying you can't be no content creator, but what I'm saying is, in reality, people, but you're homeless. You're homeless. And the solution to that, get your behind and go get a full-time W-2 job so you can rise above that homelessness, and simultaneously you can still be a content creator. Ain't nothing wrong with being a content creator, but understand you're homeless. That's because you cannot base your livelihood waiting on a YouTube check. This is basic business 101. This basic business 101. And having multiple streams of income is not a new concept. Think about your parents and grandparents. All throughout my life, I've always known my parents and grandparents, they have multiple streams of income. They may have a full-time job in the daytime, and on the weekend, they baking cakes, or they working on cars, or they fixing people's houses. So they're generating money outside of their full-time job. They're cutting grass. Real talk. So they've always knew, even back then, people knew the power of having multiple streams of income. Real talk. It ain't no different in 2025. Ain't no different in 2025. You can't base your livelihood on a one income. If so, you're behind the wheel, be homeless. Real talk. Share this information. I've been wanting to touch bases on this for a while now, in terms of, do not rely on a YouTube check to base your livelihood, to pay your bills, and you're hearing it from someone's channel. And I don't even consider myself a big channel, but most people do. But I've been monetized going on 3 years. I get a YouTube check every month. And ain't no way in the world I would base my livelihood waiting on a YouTube check once a month. No way, in any shape, form, or fashion. That's all I have. Simplify, simple fidelity, and I'm going to leave you in care of your own conscience. Have a great day.